the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me today. So my channel is mostly about cozy mysteries, but from time to time I will have some other fun videos thrown in. And today I'm continuing my Spotlighting Cozy series. And basically this is just where I look at different themes and professions, hobbies, locations within cozy mysteries and tell you what series are out there to read. I know, fun. So we've been looking at Culinary Cozies, and guys, we might just finish today because we are on authors starting with the last name S, and there's a couple of letters that don't have any authors who have books within those letters, so we might just finish in this video today. And I do have and know what my next spotlight is going to be, so I will be telling you guys that at the end of this video. But for right now, let's jump in. Don't forget though to comment below. So let me know what spotlights you want to see. Let me know if you enjoyed this one. Let me know if which of these that you read, anything that you want to talk about. Down there's a place to do it. On your way down to comment, don't forget to hit the subscription and the notification bell. That's going to tell you when I put out new videos each and every single week. All right, let's get into it. We're spotlighting Culinary Cozies in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first series is one that I absolutely love. It is the Daisy's Tea Garden Mystery Series by Karen Rose Smith. The first book is called Murder with Lemon Tea Cakes. It'll be right here. The main character in this is Daisy Swanson. She is a widow and a mom. This series also features her Aunt Iris, and Daisy owns a tea house in Amish country, Pennsylvania. So the first book says, Daisy, a widowed mom of 2 teenagers, is used to feeling protective. So when Iris started dating the wealthy and not quite divorced Harvey Fitz, she worried, especially after his bitter ex stormed in and caused a scene at the party Daisy's tea garden was catering. Then there was the gossip she overheard about Harvey's grown children being cut out of his will. Daisy didn't want her aunt to wind up with a broken heart, but she never expected Iris to wind up as a suspect in Harvey's murder. Now, the apple bread and orange pekoe is on the back burner while the cops treat the shop like a crime scene. And Daisy hopes that Jonas Croft, a former detective from Philadelphia, can help clear her aunt's name and bag the real killer before things boil over. There are 6 books in this series. I think I've read 4. I've read at least 3. I don't know if I've read the 4th one. I really, really enjoyed all of them. The characters are so fun, and the location and the setting. It's one that I would really recommend you check out. So the next series that I want to talk about is another one that I absolutely love. It is the Supper Club Mystery Series by J.B. Stanley, aka Ellery Adams. This is it's probably the first Ellery Adams series that I read, and I absolutely loved it. It's probably actually one of the first cozy series that I read. I know for sure the first ever cozy series I read was Joanne Fluke's Hannah Swenson series, but this is one that I know was in the very beginning for me. So thank you, Ellery Adams, for creating my love of cozy mysteries. So this series, the main character is James Henry, which is pretty awesome that we had a male protagonist. I love that. I hope we have more of that. So he is a retired English professor, and this series takes place in Virginia. So book 1 is called Carbs and Cadavers. It's right here. So it says James, Professor Puff, Henry, may as well have loser stamped on his forehead. Divorced, overweight, shy, and living at home, he relies on books and his favorite snack, cheese puffs, for sweet relief from his problems. I feel you, James. A former English lit professor at William & Mary moves back to Quincy's Gap, a small Virginia town in the Shenandoah Valley, to take care of his recently widowed father. To improve his social life and waistline, he joins a supper club for dieters who lovingly call themselves the Flab Five. Avoiding carbs is nearly impossible in this deep-fried potato-loving land. A mysterious death in their small burg provides an effective, if disturbing, distraction. While dodging delectable temptations, Professor Henry and his fellow dieters work together to shed pounds and find the killer who has struck fear in this tight-knit community. 7 books in this series. I read them all. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Just like that, we're at tea. So the first series I want to talk about with teas is the Heavenly series. I also have read and enjoyed this. I'm a huge fan of Culinary Cozies, so you'll hear that a lot when I'm talking about those. And I absolutely love this series. It is by Lou Jane Temple. The first book is called Death by Rhubarb. It is right here. This series is a little older, so I only say that because the books might be a little harder to find, but it is worth it. So the main character is Heavenly. She's a chef and restaurant owner in Missouri. At Cafe Heaven, the souffles don't fall, but the bodies do. Heavenly is sassy, brassy, and street smart. Oh my gosh, I love that. Heavenly is sassy, brassy, and street smart. She's also one of Kansas City's premier caterers. With a string of failed careers and stalled marriages behind her, Heaven's finally found her true love, Cafe Heaven, a trendy restaurant on Midtown 39th. Open mic night at Cafe Heaven gets pretty hairy, but Heaven is shocked when lovely lawyer Tasha Arnold drops dead from poisoning. With the law and word of mouth threatening to close her down, Heaven does what any chef worth her salt would do. She turns sleuth. Okay, but asking questions on a mean street like 39th gets Heaven into hot water. Somewhere out there is a killer who turns Kansas City's favorite caterer into Kansas City's freshest corpse. 7 books in that series. I read all of them. I found it fabulous. It was one that I really, really enjoyed. So the next one is the Spice Box Historical Mystery Series. It is also by Lou Jane Temple. The first book is called The Spice Box. It'll be right here. I have actually not read either of the books in this series. There are 2 of them. It says a delicious new mystery series that takes readers on a cook's tour of kitchens throughout history. A fresh new series begins, one which will follow a spice box and the cooks who use it through different historical periods, each with a mystery to solve in a handful of precious recipes. This sounds intriguing. Bridget Henney escaped from Ireland's Great Famine to New York City, where she spent her childhood as a pickpocket, supporting herself and her younger sister. But ever since she made her first pot of soup at the orphanage, she knew she wanted to be a cook. Now in the home of wealthy and powerful department store owner Isaac Gold, her dream is about to come true. But on Bridget's first day of work, amidst gleaming copper pots and mighty wood stoves, she finds a body hidden inside the dough box. It is Gold's youngest son, whose whereabouts have been a mystery for several days. Bridget's courage and straight sense take her from cook to crime solver as she helps the heartbroken Gold family unravel the story of their son's fate. Justice will be served along with a home-cooked meal. There are 2 books in that series. I'm going to have to check that out. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. So the next series is the Daphne Martin Cake Mystery Series. It's by Gail Trent. This series has been on my TBR pile for a long time. It sounds like it's going to be so much fun. And I love that the main character, Daphne Martin, is a cake decorator. I just think that sounds fun. This series takes place in Virginia. So Murder Takes a Cake will be right here. A routine cake delivery becomes a culinary nightmare when a small-town baker discovers her first client's dead body in the irresistible new mystery series. Ugh. Yeah, that's not a good way to start the business. It'll take more than a little sugar to convince folks Daphne Martin's freshly baked spice cake was not to blame for the mysterious death of town gossip Yodel Watson. Getting her new cake decorating business, Daphne's Delectable Cakes, off the ground is hard enough now that Daphne's moved back to her Southern Virginia hometown, but orders have been even slower since she found Yodel's body. She soon realizes, however, that just about everybody in town had a reason to poison the cankerous busybody, from the philandering pet store owner to Yodel's church potluck nemesis to the save-a-buck cranky produce manager turned bagger. Now, to help prove she's no confectionery killer, Daphne recruits her old flame Ben Jacobs, editor of the local newspaper, and quickly stirs up a long-hidden family scandal that just might hold the secret ingredient. 5 books in this series. That sounded so cute. I might have to bump it up a little in my TBR. So there were no U's or V's, so we're right up to W. Look at that. Poof, we're there. All right, so the first book, or series in the W's, is the Fresh Baked Mystery Series. It's by Olivia J. Washburn. The first book is called A Peach of a Murder. It'll be right here. I've read, I think, 6 or 7 in this series. I really enjoyed it. J. Washburn also has another series that I really enjoyed. It was a like a literary travel series. There were only a few of them. I can't remember if there was 2 or 3, but I was sad that it was so short because it was one that I really thought was a fun series. This one, the main character is Phyllis Newsome. She is a baker and ex-teacher in Texas. All year round, retired school teacher Phyllis Newsome is as sweet as a peach pie, except during the Peach Festival, whose blue ribbon has slipped through Phyllis's fingers more than once. Everyone's a little shook up when the corpse of a no-good local turns up underneath a car in a local garage. But even as Phyllis engages in some amateur sleuthing, she won't let it distract her from outbaking her rivals and winning the upcoming Peach Festival contest. She and all the other contestants guard their secret original recipes with their lives and talk a whole lot of trash. With her unusual spicy peach cobbler, Phyllis hopes to knock them dead. But that's just an expression. Never in her wildest dreams did she think her cobbler would actually kill a judge. Now she's suspected of murder, and she's got to make this case wide open. There are 15 books in the case. 15 books in the series. Like I said, I've read, I think 6, maybe 7 of them. I really enjoyed it. You should check it out. So the next series is the Comfort Food Mystery Series. This is by Christine Winger. The first book is called Do or Diner. It's right here. The main character is Trixie. She's a manager of a diner, and she's a divorcee. This series takes place in a small town in upstate New York. When Trixie agrees to take over her aunt's diner, she pictures lakeside views and delicious comfort food in the small town where she spent summers as a child. But the sweet scene turns sour when someone puts murder on the menu. Trixie is in need of a fresh start away from her cheating ex-husband, but she may be biting off more than she can chew when she comes to upstate New York to run her family's famed Silver Bullet Diner. I love that name. Not only is she caught off guard by the small town's resident heartthrob Deputy Ty Briscoe, but her first health inspection turns into a nightmare when the inspector keels over in his blue plate special. That's a nightmare. Oh. It seems someone made a deadly addition to an old family recipe, and Trixie is determined to find out who done it. 5 books in this series. It says it includes recipes. I'm going to have to check that one out. That one sounded like a lot of fun. So the next series and our final series of this whole spotlight, I know we made it, guys. I'm so excited to be creating this series, and I'm going to tell you in just a few minutes what our next spotlight is. So this last one is the Dinner Club Mystery Series. It's by Linda Wyken. The first book is called Toasting Up Trouble. It'll be right here. The main character is J.J. Turner. She is an event planner and a member of the Culinary Capers Dinner Club. Event planner Jennifer, J.J. Tanner, has a full plate, but that's the way she likes it. First, it's her turn to choose the recipe for the next meeting of the Culinary Capers Dinner Club, a gathering of foodies who experiment with entrees for their creative pleasure. Second, she's organizing an Italian princess party for the 21-year-old daughter of a high-tech millionaire. But one thing JJ didn't plan is that the caterer for the event, hotshot chef Antonia Marquette, would end up murdered on the night of the party. Or that she'd end up being a prime suspect after having a heated argument with the chef. Now it's up to JJ, with help from her fellow club members and a handsome, if not mysterious private eye, to turn the tables on the real killer. 3 books in that series. That one sounds good too. Oh gosh, there were so many. I hope that you've enjoyed this spotlight. I hope that you added some things to your TBR. Kind of that time. What is my next spotlight? So the next spotlight that I am going to do is spotlighting British cozies, y'all. I hope that sounds exciting to you. I'm really excited about it. It's a genre or subgenre that I don't know as well as culinaries, and I've been having so much fun researching it, and already my TBR pile again it's getting unmanageable, y'all. And until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everyone.